Welcome to my views and news. Tuesday's first news story is about Tigray interim president Getachew Reda, who presided over a meeting of Tigray Reda zonal city government officials, and there reportedly some participants of the meeting criticized Getachew Reda, and some slogans were chanted against Getachew Reda. What happened there? Secondly, viewers, what is the latest situation, security situation close to Shewa Robit? Is the road open? Where is Ethiopian National Defense Force? We have details for you. And thirdly, viewers, Eritrean refugees in Sudan 2 to 3 days ago, I did a video about a good news from Eritrea. I confirmed the arrests of Eritrean refugees on Sudan-Eritrea border. At the same time, I shared good news with you from Eritrea. Around 48 hours ago, a British news source published an article about what is happening to Eritrean refugees on Sudan-Eritrea border. Firstly, viewers, Getachew Reda, Tigray interim president, is holding discussions to implement a reconstruction program in Tigray. He is involving all tiers of the administration. That is why a meeting was called in Mekelle. Tigray interim government officials, zonal, city, Reda levels were invited to attend the meeting. The meeting happened in Mekelle. Some Tigray military commanders were there too. Former TDF commanders like General Mekelle was there, and some others too. Professor Kendea, Getachew's friend from Tigray External Affairs Bureau, was there too. And their discussions were held about reconstruction of Tigray. And it is now being reported by some Tigray activists that there was an incident at the meeting where people criticized Getachew Reda. There was an uproar. People criticized him that he was representative of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, that Getachew isn't representative of the people of Tigray. Some of the meeting participants said that. Now, meeting was attended by government, Tigray interim government officials. As I said earlier, since Mekelle was there, and government officials are party officials too. Like in other regions where there is PP in power, so government officials are members of PP as well. Same holds true for Tigray too. Government officials are mostly TPLF members too. So basically, it's not a revolt by government, not a revolt because just a few criticize Getachew Reda. It's not that some government officials criticize Getachew Reda. Basically, it's criticism from within the party, TPLF. And it should be surprising. Why? Because Getachew was elected by the party's central committee after a very narrow vote. With just one vote lead, he was elected by the party's central body to be nominated as party's candidate for interim president of the region. And Elim Gebrevaid, Mongerino, Debratzian, Hoftotzian, and several others, they opposed Getachew's election. Getachew's nomination for the slot. Elim Gebrevaid, very staunch critic of Getachew, is nowhere to be seen these days. So within the party, within TPLF, still there are divisions. That is why Getachew was criticized at this party meeting. Uh, Opposition parties, Salsevujene and Tigray Independence Party, they are not appreciative of Getachew's work too. They still say, like they were saying when the Bratson was in power, that Tigray government is basically TPLF, and they maintain the same. One party has joined the Tigray's interim government, and that is Betona, though there are splits within Betona too. So the challenges which Getachew is facing within the party are continuing. And there are lots of other challenges too. That is why perhaps he is not able to. Will he be able to bring those to justice who stole aid if he is not in a strong position? Because there are already voices within the party portraying Getachew as PM Abiy's representative. So it would be difficult for Getachew to take action against those if they are especially from the party, and they would be from the party, from the government, who are behind aid theft in Tigray. But just this development in Mekelle shows that internal political challenges remain in Tigray. Secondly, viewers, North Shewa zone of the Amhara region, where situation is still volatile. We just a few minutes ago, we got a confirmation from near Shewa Robit. Shewa Robit-Rasa road is closed, still closed. It was closed this morning when we checked through a source there. And close to Rasa is the presence of Fano fighters. In a video, I said that from two zones, Fano fighters of two zones in North Shewa are known for their fighting capabilities. Close to Majate and Rasa. Rasa Fano fighters and Majate Fano fighters, close to Majate. They are known as tough fighters. And we have seen operation by Ethiopian army near Majate too. Near Shewa Robit-Rasa, they are there. They have blocked the road, Ethiopian army soldiers. And yesterday we reported about intense fighting between Fano fighters and Ethiopian army in Alala to the west of Senbate. So overall situation in North Shewa is not peaceful. And these Fano fighters, they keep on blocking the road as well. They are based in mountains, forests, but sometimes they try to carry out ambush on Ethiopian army soldiers, and then they block roads too. Ethiopian army then tries to clear the roads, but of course the entire Dasi to Debre road cannot be patrolled by the army. So overall situation is volatile in North Shewa. Thirdly, viewers, plight of Eritrean refugees in Sudan. Guardian has confirmed through an article that more than 3,000 Eritreans were taken forcibly from Sudan to Eritrea since the start of the war in Sudan. Guardian partially confirmed my report as well. I said that most of the Eritreans being taken to Eritrea or who are entering Eritrea willingly are not being put in prisons. Most of them are being allowed to meet their families. I said 6-month permits are being issued to these who are returning to Eritrea. So after 6 months, what will happen? No one knows. But so far, they are not being put in prisons. Secondly, Not all of them who are returning to Eritrea, who are being taken forcibly to Eritrea, not all of them are being allowed to go to their families. Some are being imprisoned. Those who are critics of the Eritrean government, those who are activists, they are being arrested reportedly, and then they are being imprisoned too. So the number is small though. Majority allowed to meet their families. And Eritrean forces took these Eritreans by force from Sudanese soil. This is alarming because now Eritrean military is on Sudanese soil. Sudanese military is nowhere to be seen. Sudanese elders of the eastern Sudan area, they are already supporters of Isaias Afwerki government, Bija and other tribal elders. They have close ties with Isaias Afwerki's government. That is why Eritrean military was allowed to enter eastern Sudan, and from there, Eritrean intelligence agents, they kidnapped the Eritreans and then took them back to Eritrea. Sudanese military is obviously preoccupied with the fighting in Khartoum. It's not in a position to enforce a rule of law to make deployments on Sudan-Eritrea border. Let's hope that after 6 months, those who have returned to Eritrea are allowed to stay with their families, and they're not put in prisons. But we'll keep you updated. So far, majority is not being imprisoned. Majority of Eritrean people who are returning, but forcible return is underway. Kidnappings ongoing, and at the same time, Eritrean government has asked Ethiopian government to close its border on Eritreans. Matimma border crossing was closed for Eritreans. Eritrean was not allowed to enter Ethiopia by Ethiopian authorities. They were told to go to Eritrea, and from the border in Kassala, Eritrean intelligence agency agents took them forcibly to Eritrea. 1,000 so far. More than 3,000 have been taken so far from Sudan into Eritrea. Thank you for watching.